Welcome back to American Textbook Reading. I'm Brian Storett. I will be your teacher for today. So what are we going to learn today? What are we going to learn about today? Look at this and you will know. What is it? What is this? It is a model of the solar system. Why do we call it a solar system? Here you can see the solar system has 8 planets, which is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They all go around the sun. This red one is the sun, and this is Saturn. It's just a little it's just a little sticky because it just dried yesterday. But currently this is the solar system model. Let's put it down here. Now, do you know what we learned today? We learned about the solar system. So on this part, we have the same planets. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, I had a lot of time coloring the whole background. I also added some white into the background. Now, are you ready to start for the lesson? Let's look at the book to see if you can organize or recognize the vocabulary yet. Then we will start with the vocabulary. Wait for me just 1 second. There. This is the vocabulary. We have star, sun, moon, planet, rotate, and object. Now, are you ready for the first one? The first one is star. A star is a bright object that orbits. A star is a bright object with lots of gas that uses its own light. So imagine, look at these spots. What are those spots? Those spots are the stars. Do you know why they are white? They are white because they make their own light, as in here says. Here, a star is a bright object in the sky that makes its own light, which is in the book. The next one we have is sun. The sun is a bright object with lots of gas that is the closest to the earth. For example, if you go to the moon, if it's in front of the earth, you will see that the sun is much bigger than the moon. But you will also see from earth that the sun is very small because it's far, far, far away. From the moon in front of earth to Mercury, all that you see is the sun, stars, and the space. And did you know why they called the black thing in the solar system space? Do you know why? Because it has a lot of space. Like on the ground, I have space to move. Like this. So it is called space. If this whole ground was space, that means that it is space. I said the same words. And now we will have the moon. The moon is a rocky, bumpy object that is in the sky. Did you remember last night when you wake up, when it is 5, or did you remember last night when it is 5 o'clock or 12 o'clock? Do you remember that? When that happens, there is the moon. Sometimes the moon can be in a banana shape. It is called a new moon. Or sometimes the moon can be a banana moon or a new moon. It also has a sphere. It looks like a sphere when 6 days pass. The first day, after 6 days when you were born, you will see the first day as a new moon. The other day, just a little slice of the new moon. The other day, a half of the circle. And the fourth day and the fifth day, just like the new moon. And then the sixth day, it will be the full moon or the sphere's moon. Now, what is the next? It is object. An object, as you see here, an object is a thing that you can touch or you can see. Like, I see this book and I can touch this book. If you see the sun, you cannot touch the sun, but it's also an object. Now we will see the word planet. The planets are lots of millions and millions and millions. So there are millions and trillions of galaxies. But what do you think? There are 7 to 8 planets in one galaxy or one solar system. But other solar systems, maybe they'll have aliens, but here they don't have aliens. And finally, we will look at some of the details here. You will look at some of the details here. You will see some words and some details about the sun, the moon, stars, and planets. I'll close the book. The sun is the biggest star and is also the star nearest to Earth. So if you see, this is Earth, and then looks like the house, it looks like a circle. And we cut it out in a circle. Then outside the window, you can see that the sun is setting. Just like it's going down, 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 down to the water. Okay, I'll stand up. Now, do you want to look at some more? Now you will see the word moon. The moon is a rocky object or a rocky sphere that is next to the Earth. It orbits the Earth. It orbits the Earth. But did you know that not all planets only have one moon? Only Mercury, Venus, and Mars have no moon. But Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune have. So how many, you know how many moons does Earth have, which is 1. And then did you know that here you can see it, Earth has 1 moon and Jupiter has 60 moons. Saturn also has 60 moons. Uranus, as you can see, it has 1, 2, and 3 moons. And which is Neptune, it has 1, 2, 3 moons. Okay? But the detail about the Jupiter and Saturn, I'm not kidding you. It has 60 moons. It doesn't have any 1 moon or 2 moons or 3 moons or 4 moons. any other moon that is smaller than 60 for Saturn and Jupiter, they do not. There are none. The number of the moons they have, because they only have 60. And now let's look at stars. Stars are brightly colored objects. Brightly colored objects that are in the sky while it is night. So you can see that it is white, and because they're so white that they make their own light and they can see for their own. But unintentionally, they do not have Kumbala eyes. I just said that to joke you. And now, finally, we will look at planets. Planets. Now, first you need to look at planets. Why? Because in our reading passage, we have the sun, the moon, stars, and planets. You also have objects, planets, and many other vocabulary words that we see in the vocabulary are in the reading passage. Now I'll pick this up again. I'll show you one last time. Now I'll ask you a question. How many planets are in the world? And when I was a child, how many planets are there? Now there are 7 planets. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, but when I was a child, there were 9, which is Pluto. But now, because Pluto didn't clean its past, so it wasn't a planet anymore. Because Pluto didn't clean its path in the solar system, it isn't a planet anymore. Now, do you want to have a good look at the planets? You can see that we have Mercury, we have Venus, which is right here. We have Earth, we have Mars, we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, we have Uranus, and we have Neptune. So now you can see that the sun is red, Mercury is black, Venus is blue based on the color when you see it on Mars, but when you see it on Venus, it's red. Then you see Mars is red because it's the red planet. Jupiter is brown and black and yellow and red. And Saturn is just the same color as Jupiter, but it has a paper ring. It's based there a long time, so maybe it's stuck forever. Oops, it fell off. So maybe I'll tape it there later. So we'll just take it here. And you can also see that Neptune is green, Uranus is blue. Now, let's put it down. And now, let's ask some true and false questions. Stars are bright objects that orbit the Earth. True or false? False. Why? Stars are bright objects that orbit the Earth. No. But the moon is an object that orbits the Earth. A moon is an object that orbits the Earth, not a star. Now, let's answer the second question. The second question, you have to look at the solar system and I will ask you some questions. Okay? I will tell you and you have to remember it. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now, have you listened to the words carefully? Now, I will tell you it again, but it is scrambled. It is unscrambled. Here, I will tell you Earth, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and many others. Now, can you arrange the planets in order? You can see the planets. And now, can you arrange them in an order? Let's see. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So, there are 8 planets, including Pluto, which is out here. So, there are 8 planets. But Pluto is also orbiting the Earth with all. So, when Pluto was not a planet anymore, it became a dwarf planet. What is a dwarf planet? A dwarf planet is the planet that is smaller. Do you know why Pluto is out? If Mercury was at the back, which is small, but Pluto is even smaller, it will be Mercury who would be out. But if Pluto was at the end and Mercury was in the front, it will be Pluto will be out. Why? Pluto is so small that it couldn't clean its path. Couldn't clean. Every day, meteorites splashed and crumbled Pluto. But still, Pluto is only a little smaller than Earth. This is Earth, but this is Pluto. This is Earth, and this is Pluto. If Pluto hits the Earth, it will become the Earth's mantle or core. And now, let's take a short break and we'll come back and we'll do the reading section. Okay? I mean the speaking section. So we'll just take a short break and we'll come back and do the reading section. Don't go away. Now, we've got the reading section. We've got the reading section, which is here, and we'll talk about all of the details in the the speaking section. Now let's close it up and put it aside. Now, are you ready for the reading section? The speaking section? Are you ready for it? Are you being smart? Are you feeling smart about the things that I just told you? Because now there is no exception. There is no exception to just like not intelligence. You can't say about that. You're just kidding me. So you must say the truth. You couldn't lie to me because I am a mind reader. Now, let's get started. Every day, why is every day night and why is every day have night and day? Why? Because of what? Do you know? Because once the earth faces the sun, it is day, and once the earth doesn't face the sun, once one side of the earth faces the sun and one side doesn't face the sun, the one side is day, the other side is night. When they switch, the one side is night and the other side is day. Back again. So they just switch back again, which makes the earth go around and around and around and around. So they just stay the same. Like now it is evening, but it is still night in America because America is facing east. I mean America is facing west, and we are facing east. But when it is probably already day and night there, the America will be facing north and we will be facing south. So it's just like that. It just moved from north south, west east, north south, west east. So it just goes around and around like that. Now, in the daytime, you can see the sun. But in the nighttime, you can see the moon. First, I'm going to tell you about the daytime. In the daytime, you can see the sun. You can also see crops, the trees, and many other things. But the most popular thing that it is the sky is the sun. The sun is a big ball of gas. It is so big that even 2 Jupiters can fit in it. 2 Jupiters can fit in the sun, 100,000 Earths can fit in the sun, and I think Mercury will be a lot, and also Pluto and the other dwarf planets. But did you know that the 9th planet, Pluto, was the biggest dwarf planet? At first, people thought that it was only a little small here because they saw it super small from the moon. So every day they're just complaining that they're just small like this. But did you know that Pluto is even big enough to crush this whole room? It is as big as this whole room. It is also very hot on the surface. So if Pluto crashed into Earth, maybe Pluto will be its mantle, but Earth will also disappear. Okay? Now, we'll talk about the night. At night, you can see planets, some constellations. What are the constellations? Constellations are the groups of stars that form a picture, just like the Big Doe and many others. Because I'm so hot. Now, we'll talk about the rest of the night. Well, first, we'll talk about the moon. The moon is a large rock that is in the sky. That large rock has little spots. What are those little spots? Those little spots are craters. As you can see, these are Venus's craters. These little things are Mercury's craters, but Earth doesn't have any craters. It only has the biggest crater. A meteorite crashed on Earth. Where did it crash? Did you know where did it crash? The meteorite that hit Earth crashed in the middle of a venue. It crashed in the middle, and for a long time they'll just disappear because meteorites, they'll just burn down because that's where the mantle will be, and the meteorite is rock, but the mantle has fire that can even burn rock, so it just goes to the ground and be another core. So it'll disappear, and also one part of the mantle will also disappear because what? for a few years or months or years later, the whole thing from the meteorite will turn into rock. I mean, it will turn into just sand or soil. But if you open just a little part of the soil, will die. Because that's where it's hiding, the mantle. Maybe you scoop deep into the mantle, it will even burn your shovel. Now, we also have some stars. Stars are brightly colored things that are in the sky. They're in the sky, right? They're brightly colored things that are in the sky and make their own light. But no star has ever crashed onto Earth. If a star crashed onto Earth, but it is in the morning, it must be the sun. Or have you heard about the story of Chicken Licken? That is when Chicken Licken is scared of everything and he said, the sky is falling, but unintentionally, the sky is not falling. Because when Foxy Loxy came along, he said that stupid bird, the sky can't fall. Okay? Now do you know that story? Always keep it in your mind and know about this. It is not the sun. The sun is not falling. The sky is not falling. The clouds are not falling. Everything is not falling in the sky. But if they do, it will make Earth vanish. People vanish. Things vanish. Toys vanish. Books vanish. And everything will vanish. Even food and bottles and wood and books, our favorite books, our favorite TV, doors, and many others. And now, have you enjoyed this lesson? Make sure you like this lesson. And if you want to find me, you will find me at American Textbook Reading, Science and Social Studies from 1 to 4. And also write my name and your favorite lesson. Then you'll see my videos and the real Brian Stoics videos with these amazing books for you to see. And now, goodbye.